If you've ever been confused by all the different board types that an interior designer will use, don't worry, you're not alone, because clients and even designers will sometimes misuse words interchangeably for very different board types. So today, let's discuss the difference between material, mood, and concept boards, why you should be using them, and how they're going to take your designs to the next level, even if you're not an interior designer. Before we jump into it though, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe if you'd like to be a part of more design adventures. Design boards are tools that we use to communicate our ideas visually. They help us get down onto paper what our goals are and where we want the space to go long term. And depending as to where we are in the design process will depend on which board that you're using, but they are really great to communicate not only to yourself, but to somebody else what the goals are and how you're going to achieve them. Mood boards are the first one on the list today because this is the discussion of the overall vibe that you're wanting to create in your final space. You may have a couple of Pinterest images of a room that you would like to aspire towards, but overall, you're really thinking about how you want the space to feel. So if you are inspired by something in particular, this is where you might use reference images towards that. So let's say you really loved coastal homes, you wanted to create something coastal, then you may have an image of the beach. You may have a piece of driftwood, color palettes that reflect the beach, and just very overarching ideas as to, okay, this is the idea I want. How do I achieve it with different materials, with different things that we see? And it doesn't necessarily need to be specifically tied to nature. You may also be influenced by fashion or something else that you may see online. Even branding and marketing can sometimes give us some inspiration as well. This is just a very big collection of a brainstorm of how do we want this space to feel in the end. It doesn't have to be literal. It's a very abstract idea. There are plenty of different things that you can get inspiration from. But if we were going, yes, with that coastal home, then okay, maybe you would have some reference images of coastal homes from Pinterest. Perhaps you might have images of the beach. You may have images of different material types that you feel like give you a sense of the beach. It doesn't necessarily have to be tied to the beach, but you do need to think of, okay, how do I want to feel? So moving on from mood boards, we are now into concept boards, and this is where we start to develop those ideas a little bit further and take it from explaining these very abstract concepts into your future design thinking. Nothing is really set in stone at this phase either, but you are narrowing in on certain material types, certain colors, potential furniture layouts, and potential ideas as to what the space may look like. So this is where you may do sketches and go, okay, I have an idea as to where I want to put the bed. Let's just sketch this out quickly and go, okay, what else could I potentially incorporate in the space? You know, that line work from beforehand, I really like that idea on the ceiling. So let's just sketch that out and see what it looks like. We definitely aren't setting anything in stone at this point. We are just kind of playing with a couple of ideas and looking at what's available as well. But we are still going, okay, what is around? What can I actually utilize? What is my budget a little bit as well? Like you might find something that you do really like, but it's like 10 grand and you're like, that's probably not going to be it, but I like it for inspiration. So you might have that furniture piece as an inspiration piece, but it's probably not going to make it into the final design. So going back to that coastal design from beforehand, if you really found a sofa that you absolutely adored, but the price range was just a bit too high, you could still use that as like your reference image as to where you found inspiration from. And it might be the perfect size. So you'll keep that noted down of, okay, this is what I want it to look like. It's the right size. I just need to find an alternative now. And this is where we start to build into our next one. Our final board for today is the material board, and this is where you finalize everything. You finalize all of those materials and all of those furniture pieces that are going to be in that final design. Now, I will say that although this is meant to be where everything is finalized, a lot of the time it's not. A lot of the time you'll have new iterations simply because you get something else that's on sale. Maybe you find something on Facebook Marketplace that's beautiful and unique and you just have to have it in your space. There are sometimes going to be material shortages, and so you might actually have to switch something out. But overall, the space is meant to look like this. And so there are a few different ways that you can showcase a material board. You might do physical materials like a flat lay. So you'll show your timber flooring, you'll show the material for your rug, you'll show the linen for your curtain, different cushion pieces, metals, anything that's going to be in that final space, that's in the flat lay. You can also do final sketches, you can do 3D renderings of all these materials, you can just do a Photoshop of all these different types of furniture pieces all together so you can see the entire concept. I've done a lot of these for a lot of the videos that I've created for people that want to update their space, so feel free to check those out if you would like. I do really like creating spaces that are more visual here rather than just talking about design. Now, the really unique thing about a material board is that you'll be able to tell if someone has done those previous two boards by this final look. So going back to that coastal look, if you had not done those previous two boards and actually developed your own ideas as to how you want to reflect it into your space, likely you'll just get reference images and pictures of coastal homes, and then you'll go, okay, well, I'll just do all the same things as everybody else. I'll do the blue-ish walls, I'll do the white linen couch, I'll do the yellowish flooring, and then it all looks the same. However, if you've gone ahead and done your mood and concept board and gotten unique ideas out of it that maybe someone else might not necessarily think of, your space is going to look drastically different and far more intentional than anybody else's. And you can still have that coastal aesthetic, but it's just going to feel and hit a little bit differently. So you will know by this end phase if anyone has done those first two steps, and they are so, so important. They may not seem important. Sometimes you just want to rush and get something done and just like get that space idea out into your world. But having the time to actually think through the process and go, okay, how do I want the space to feel? What are the things that inspire me? How do I want to incorporate this into the space without it being so literal? And now that we're at the material board, we can now see this. And this is just the coolest part about it, which I absolutely adore. So just as a refresher, when and how should we be using each one? Number one, mood board is our editorial abstract phase where we get the idea of the vibe of the space. Number two is our concept board. This is where we start to develop those ideas, maybe pick some items that we like that may not necessarily be in the final space, but give us the ideas of where we want the space to be in the long run. And then finally, we have the material board. This is where we finalize our design, our ideas, and exactly what materials and furniture pieces that we may want to use. Even if you aren't a designer, I do feel that all three of these boards really helps transform your ideas for your space. The mood board gives you the understanding of how you want your space to feel. The concept board gives you an understanding of what you do and don't like. And then your material board gives you a clear goal as to what you are after. So let's be quite honest here. Most of the time, people can't just go ahead and just buy all of their furniture pieces all in 1 week. It's usually a process, and having this clear goal will allow you to reflect back on it and go, okay, I'm ready to buy that sofa now. And you can go ahead and get it when you're ready and slowly transform your space, because homes are forever evolving. Even though you may have this material board and you're like, yep, this is perfect, we're going to evolve with time and our homes should evolve with us. But this little concept of having all these three different boards will give you an idea and a better understanding as to how to get from point A to point B. So once your coastal home doesn't really feel like you anymore and you want to have some more energetic spirits, what do we do to change that? And then you just go through that process all again. If you'd like some ideas as to how to elevate your home, make sure you go ahead and check out this video next, and I'll see you on the next design adventure.